Good morning. This is today's Angelscope. Okay. I usually start these with pulling angel tarot cards, and then based off of the cards that I pull, I will interpret them based off of the astrological placements that we currently have, which are the signs on the cards typically. If not, then I have my astrology cards here that I'm going to do a reading with today. Let's see. All right, let's see what we get for today. The Hermit. Okay, you see this symbol here, and that is the symbol for Virgo. Okay, so Virgo energy. So let's see. The King of Fire. Fire element, this would be signs like Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, fire signs. So let's see also. Okay, Pisces energy, as well as the different symbols of the other signs down here. So let's see. I'm going to pull one astrology card, see what energy most I'm kind of, because Virgo, this is a, earth element. I'm getting earth, fire, and water actually. So let's see what dominant energy I'm kind of picking up on for today. Okay, Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth element, okay? So let's see here what the reading is kind of picking up on based off of the astrological placements. I have my calendar in front of me. Saturn right now is in the sign of Pisces, okay? And also Virgo. Let's see what planet is in the sign of Virgo. See what I'm kind of picking up on here with the cards. Okay, Virgo. Lilith, okay, which is not a planet. Lilith is an asteroid, but she acts like a planet because it's a very powerful feminine energy. Okay. Okay. So this is speaking to the structure of marriage, okay? Because Virgo would pick up on, Virgo was considered to be the virgin, okay, before the name, before that got changed, okay, the reference to that Virgo, to that astrological sign. So with that, the Hermit picking up on Virgo energy, and Saturn, which rules Capricorn. Capricorn deals with like, traditional structures, marriage being one. And Lilith, big in the sign of Virgo. These are kind of like really not considered to be energies that blend well, because in mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife. But because of her, it said because she didn't want to submit to Adam, she ended up being, single. They ended up not, staying married, and he ended up marrying Eve. So Eve would be kind of more reference to like the virgin, and, in mythology, and Lilith kind of like that outcast type of wife, the one that doesn't kind of submit to the norm. But I get the sense now that what this is speaking to, and let's see if I get some Pluto energy, that right now there are changes to what, just overall, what is considered to be like the norm, what is considered to be proper, what is considered to be like people's places in their roles, like a wife role. This is changing in society. You also have different types of marital structures, polyamory, I think that's the name of it, where a person has more than one sick partner, okay? And then you also have people that are kind of questioning gender roles. So I'm going to see if I get Pluto energy to indicate that Lilith and Virgo energy would typically conflict, okay? But this could be the blending of energy, meaning there could be another way to look at a situation so that it is beneficial for the time that we're in now, okay? So let's see if I get kind of like a Pluto energy. Pluto right now is in the sign of Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. Capricorn, excuse me. Saturn rules Capricorn. So that would kind of speak to that type of changing up structure. Okay, so let's see if I get kind of like this Plutonian type of energy, which the reading now is to say, you know, Libra is all about compromise, about fairness. Sometimes we want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, say, oh, these structures don't work anymore. Marriage doesn't work anymore. They're failing. So, you know, everybody wants to be single. Oh, no having children anymore because, you know, women find that they want to be able to have their own autonomy about how they want to kind of conduct their life and how they want to be viewed as an individual outside of that mom role, that wife role. But I get the sense that with this Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn's placement in Pisces, Lilith in Virgo, specifically Lilith in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, that this is more so speaking to structures that are being shifted and changed. What the ideal is no longer the ideal. It doesn't fit, you know, the society that we live in today. So Libra, we're in Libra season now. So it is speaking to equilibrium, balance, fairness. The traditional structure of marriage worked before because the woman typically was the one staying at home, taking care of the children, manning the house. And even if there was like gardening and things like that, the woman would tend to do things close to home, while the man, and I'm speaking way back, you know, when these type of traditional roles were kind of put in place, out hunting, he was away from the home. Well, that made sense. We are in a society now where women are working away from home as well. So to have these traditional type of ideologies of marriage and what a wife is and what a wife does not even work. It doesn't work any longer. And it's not fair. It's unbalanced because a woman that's going out working, bringing home half of the bacon, and sometimes in some situation, in some cultures, she's bringing home most of the bacon, taking care of the children, taking care of the home, and then the man is working and he wants to be catered to, like back in the day where that made sense. A person out hunting, strenuous work, coming home would want certain things to be in place. It makes sense. It's not fair any longer is what I get the sense the reading is picking up on. These types of systems were not necessarily just put in place because of gender roles. Oh, the women, and some people think that the woman is the weaker, so I don't believe it was based off of that. I believe they worked. It was practical. It was a practical use for the structure being the way that it is. That doesn't serve anyone any longer. It's too much. It's too burdensome. Okay. It causes one person to carry more of the load, and it becomes stressful, and it causes all other types of issues. So Libra coming out first not only speaks to the time season that we're in now, Libra, okay, based off of the Western zodiac, the sun is in the sign of Libra now until about October 22nd. So time frame, but as well as, let's see what we get here, Gemini. This is like this duality. This is ruled by Mercury. Okay, this duality, a person, it's almost, I get that when I get Gemini in a card reading, sometimes I get the sense of cognitive dissonance, meaning a person will have two thoughts in their mind about one situation. This would be the theme where a person wants that traditional wife, like this Lilith placement in Virgo. Okay, these could be wants the traditional wife, wants the Eve type of submissive type of wife, but he wants this go-getter, go out, help me type of, you bring home half of the bacon too. That's this cognitive dissonance. That doesn't really make any sense. Okay, it's having two thoughts about the same thing. It's like, well, which one do you want? You know, which one do you want? Okay, so Gemini energy I'm picking up on. Sagittarius, you know, Sagittarius deals with like philosophy and religion. You know, a lot of the ideals that we get about marriage and traditional structures, even sexuality, come from our religious teachings and our belief systems, okay, that are taught to us and handed down spiritually or religiously, I should say. But these particular belief systems they're traditional, okay, but they made sense for a certain, not just a certain sector. I get this, they made sense at a certain point in time. Things evolve. And to make my point, some people will say, well, no, certain things don't ever change. Religious texts, these things don't change. Whatever is in place at one time is always going to be applicable forever, especially when it's dealing with religion. What I say to that is the reason why Jesus Christ got crucified, that thought. Because when he came on the scene, and I'm going to end it with this, and I'm going to just pull one card to just confirm, and I'll pull an angel tarot. If the reading is more so speaking to, we have to shift with the times. We have to have an open mind to allow ourselves to think practically. Religion is not supposed to keep your mind in a box to where you can't think. And like, how does this work? You have to be able to work those things in tandem. So I'm going to do one past card pull because I don't want to put something on. I allowed the cards to pick up on what's going on astrologically and a message that could be helpful to, individuals, or because this is a general reading to several people at once. So I don't want to impose my own opinion on this. I'm going to put one card just to kind of confirm what the reading is picking up on here. But I'll say this, going back to the point about when people say, well, some things never change. In the Bible, the woman's supposed to be submissive, A, B, C, D, and they'll quote scriptures and passages and so forth to prove their point. Things don't change. It doesn't matter if society's changing and technology is changing. It's still, those structures are in place religiously and things don't change. And me bringing up the point of Jesus to say that is the thought that got him crucified, because when Jesus came on the scene, he was totally changing what the religious traditional structure at that time believed to be the case. Jesus was coming and saying things that was blasphemy to them. It was unheard of. It was actually offensive to them because Jesus was saying that he was God. He was saying he is God. He was making these statements that today we just accept to be the truth, people that are believers. But he was making these statements into the religious elite. This was like, oh my God, this is like death penalty type stuff that you're talking about here. But what was going on is that this was an unfoldment of prophecy, something new being ushered in. He was saying, I fulfilled that. This is something new that I'm ushering in. I am God. And just to go into all scripture and break, do a whole Bible study. But the point being is that thought process to not allow something new to come in, practical to our minds to think outside of the box, will keep us bound by things that don't serve us any longer. What Jesus was saying is that you all are doing all of these things. This stuff is unnecessary. It was actually becoming harmful because people were literally, back then they believed in sacrifice. They believed in blood sacrifice. This was before Jesus came. And what he was professing is that I fulfilled that. You no longer have to do sacrifices anymore. But people were actually sacrificing children. They were sacrificing all these things. It was just all over the place. So Jesus came. He said, I fulfilled the law. I fulfilled it. There's no need for blood sacrifice any longer. I am the ultimate blood sacrifice. So what he's saying is there is a new law. That's why we have the New Testament and the Old Testament. The Old Testament speaks of the old before Jesus came upon the scene. Okay. When Jesus came upon the scene, it was like, not to say those things are not applicable, but they have to be applied in the understanding that the Savior, the Messiah, had come. So certain things, burnt offerings, bull blood offerings, those things were not necessary any longer. It did not apply. It did not make sense to continue to do those things. Point being, it's not to say throw all that stuff out. It's to say you don't have to do that any longer. It doesn't serve a purpose to do that and to continue on in that way. So what I'm saying about marriage is Lilith in a place of Virgo. A person could be a wife, and a person can still be a good wife without being this type of at home, like this type of ideal that people have set up in their mind of what a good wife is. But it also doesn't mean that a man has to dump all these things onto a wife's role in this traditional sense. You take care of the home, you take care of the kids, and wanting her to go work and make equal amount of money and sometimes more, but still want the same treatment as a man would get back in the day when he was out hunting, doing all those things. He's coming home, or even when he wasn't hunting. Let's think about before the war came into the United States, where most women in the United States were at home. It was the war that ushered that in, where women were out in the workplace. Okay, so before then, a man, anyone, you come home from a long day of work, you're stressed, you've been dealing with all these different things, you don't want to sit there, you want to come home, you want to have a nice meal, you want to relax. That makes sense. But if the woman is coming home but she's stressed and she's doing all those, she have those same type of issues, it doesn't make sense to dump all those things on her. That would cause overburden and breakdowns within a relationship because it's unbalanced. Libra is a balanced type of energy, so that card that I pulled with that Libra card is more speaking to fairness. When you are in a relationship, you want your partner to be happy. You want the partner to be satisfied. A partner can't be satisfied, can't be happy when the partner is overburdened and stressed the heck out. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one last card. Just confirm, am I kind of picking up on, the fact that these marital structures, in order for marriage to be viable, has to change with what is going on in the real world and where we are now. Women are in the workforce. Because the cost of living and because of the changing of society, okay, people are living in cities, they're not living in on ranches and farms and so forth and so on. We don't live in an agricultural society, I guess is the point. After the Industrial Revolution, along with the war, people are out manufacturing their own jobs. We're not in an agricultural, for the most part, society any longer. Okay, so this type of marital structure built on an agricultural type of society creates a breakdown in the family unit. It doesn't create teamwork. It's not fair. It's unburdened. Okay, and so we have to get up to the times and the speed of the time of what makes sense practically, in accordance to, tradition as well. We don't want to throw tradition out, but things do have to make sense. That's why God gave us a brain for it. He doesn't want us to walk around like zombies where our minds are taken over by some unknown force and we're just going along with it. So the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Earth, okay, this deals to longevity. This deals to building a family tree. This deals with family structure. You see the family here, but this is the grandmother, grandkids. She's having another baby. There's the son and the grandfather back there. And I'll just read what the card says. Financial security for yourself and your family, inheritance or retirement. Peace and contentment in life, honoring family tradition, pride in the family tree, and passing on knowledge. So it's not the throwaway tradition, but it's also speaking of financial security. Sometimes to have financial security, it makes sense for both people to go work, but it also peace and contentment in life. In order for there to be peace and contentment in the household, one of the people in the household can't be overworked, overburdened, taking care of things in the house and be needed sometimes. Sometimes it's a necessity to go out and bring in financial to contribute to financial security. Okay, so this kind of confirms that what makes sense. What makes sense to build a family and build longevity, keep family units together, is not by causing one person to be totally broken down, totally stressed out. That's just, let's relate that to the workplace. There's high turnover in companies, and do the research. There's high turnover in companies when employers when they don't value their employees. They overwork them, they overburden them. They usually have high turnover rates. Okay, employees that invest in their client, their employees, mental health, work-life balance, they usually have happy employees. The employees stay. Okay, high turnover rate is very expensive. Okay, being able to put new employees in place. Divorce is expensive as well. Also, it's detrimental to children and families and so forth. So at the end of the day, overburdening people, whatever structure it's in this sense, I'm talking about a family unit, but it goes in pretty much any arena. Overwork someone, overburden someone, put too much stress on a person, it will cause the breakdown, and it will cause that person to leave that situation. That's why these marriages are breaking down. Women at this time, and women are, look at the divorce rate now. Look at these high profile marriages that are breaking down, and astrologically it's been actually predicted that a lot of marriages during this time are going to be breaking apart, okay? Because it can't handle, the marriage structure itself cannot handle the pressure that's being placed on it. There's being a lot of pressure on the family unit, and sometimes that comes with putting a lot of pressure on one of the individuals, or one of the individuals that's totally just checking out, okay? And then that causes the other person to feel unheard, unloved, and that person may end up leaving because they feel like they're not getting their needs met. So anyways, I know this was pretty long, but I'm going to go ahead and end it with that. That's today's Angelscope. Check out the other Angelscopes. You can check those out in the app daily. These are general, so they are, not meant for, individual readings, but they're applicable, because just like the planet's placement, the planet Pluto is in the sign of Saturn for everyone. Okay, that's just not just for people that are, signs ruled by Pluto or Saturn. It's for everyone. So it's applicable, based off of the astrological placements, as well as the time that we're in, as far as history, things that are going on. So that those, can be useful to you in some way, okay? Daily Angelscopes, you can check those out in the app. Weekly Angelscopes, you can check those out in the app. And monthly Angelscopes, you can check that out in the app. And as we get close to 2024, you'll see a yearly Angelscope for 2024. Okay, so if you want to reach out, you can start a live chat in the app as well. Okay, also check out one of the other subscription plans where you can get the coaching subscription plans actually come with meditation that helps with stress, stress and work-life balance. So check that out as well. And today's Friday, so happy Friday and have a great weekend.